I'm Pete from Project Heaven. This is Electrics Week, and today we're going to talk about ECUs. We use various ECUs here, and I've worked on lots of different types of ECUs for classic car, EFI conversions, and ignition conversions, that sort of thing. So there's all sorts of ECUs out there. It's a real minefield. You've got Halltech, you've got DTA, you've got Mega Squirt, you've got AEM, you've got Pectel, Link, Emerald. It just goes on and on and on and on. And they pretty much more or less do the same thing. They achieve the same thing. You'll have a trigger wheel that will give you the information you need for firing injectors and for firing the ignition coils. But some of the ECUs have more features than the others. So the likes of the more expensive ones like Motec, for example, they have lots of features. You can do an incredible amount with those. But the downside to them is that you have to pay for every single sort of feature you want. You have to pay for like these software keys. I don't really like that. So I prefer here to use Mega Squirt. And a lot of people sort of poo-poo Mega Squirt. They say, oh, it's cheap and they're like homemade and stuff. But yes, a lot of them were homemade back in the day. But nowadays you can buy them pre-made. You can even buy their like Pro version, which is all sort of in a sealed unit and IP rated. I tend to buy them in a kit form because you can actually build them up and add any kind of features you'd want to them. For example, this one that I've built has got an extra plug here. It's got extra coil drivers on it. This is for a twin spark car from Maserati. It's also fully sequential injection as well, so it can do all sorts of things. These ones are fully sequential, up to 8 cylinders on ignition and injection. This is the loom that comes with it. The loom is all labelled on the actual wires themselves, so it's quite simple to install because you just go to the wire rather than the wiring diagram and go, oh, what's this? Oh, crank position sensor, brilliant. Okay, so I'll wire that to that and so on. So yeah, a nice sort of simple and very affordable ECU to go for. One of the downfalls with Mega Squirt though is the customer support. Unfortunately, it's like basically you search it all out on the web. There's no real person on the end of the phone that you can call, unfortunately. So the likes of DTA are really good for that. They've got really good customer support. Emerald as well, they're really good. There's like an actual physical person you can speak to and get an answer to a problem, So that's one good reason to go for those. And we use Emerald and DTA as well. In fact, we're doing a car at the moment in the workshop. It's got a DTA ECU in it. That's a supercharged T16 replica. We've probably seen a video of that on one of our other videos there. Okay, so some key things to note when you're installing an aftermarket ECU like this. It's all about the wiring really, making sure your wiring's nice and neat and that you've got it correct. Making sure that you've got your earths going to the right place, which on this type of ECU, you've got these multiple negatives and they all need to go back to the engine block, and then you need to have a very good earth from your engine block to your battery. If you get this wiring wrong, you could end up sending a high current through this when you're trying to start the car, and that will of course cause damage to the ECU and the wiring, potentially set it on fire. Another thing to note is noise. That's the biggest problem when you're trying to install ECUs like this, any kind of aftermarket ECU. These have quite good noise cancelling. There's actually 2 little varistors that you adjust inside there, and all the other ECUs have other types of noise cancelling on them. But what you've got to try and avoid is issues with noise on earths. So you've got to be, like I just said, you've got to make sure the earth goes back to the block, and you've got nice heavy cables coming from the block back to the battery and routing the cable. So for example, this wire here is the one that's really at risk of getting noise. That's where it's got this shielding on it. This is the crank position sensor. So you've got to try and route this away from potential areas of noise like the starter motor or the alternator or the ignition coils, that sort of thing. So try and keep it away from all those sources of noise. And also just earth the shield at one end to a good earth, not both ends. If you do both ends, you'll create a ground loop. Thanks for watching today's video on ECUs. I know it was very, very brief, so Please comment below if there's any other information you'd like to know about the ECUs I've mentioned, and be sure to watch our next video.